He has a doctorate of clinical psychology, founder of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Let's welcome Dr. Umar.
Dr. Umar Johnson.
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 I keep telling you, consciousness over coochie, politics over punani. Black women are beautiful. Let me refocus. Why do you need white man paperwork? I gotta check the coons. I gotta do a coon analysis and a coon screening. All A's and B's. You know what A stand for? African. You know what B stand for? Black. We don't get C's. That stands for Caucasian. And D stand for devils.
We are the inheritors. We have an inheritance, brothers and sisters. We are the children of the Ma'afa. I am the descendants of those who came on slave ships. I am the offspring of Douglass and Tubman and Ida B. Wells and Fannie Lou and Mega and Fred Hampton. I inherited their struggle, brothers and sisters. And I have a responsibility, and so do you, to keep the torch lit. Keep the fire of African liberation burning. We have a responsibility to finish the work of Dr. King, finish the work of El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, finish the work of Kwame Nkrumah and Patrice Lumumba and Sekou Touré and Dedan Kamathi and Menelik II and His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie and Winnie and Nelson and Chris Hani and Steve Biko and Robert Sobukwe and Peter Tosh and all the great African activists. I am honored to be an African. The word African is older than the word indigenous. Africa was not named by its conqueror because no man ever conquered the whole continent. Alexander the Great conquered Kemet. Caesar conquered Kemet. The word Africa was around and is older before Leo Africanos. It is from the ancient Kemetic language, Af-Ra-Ka. Af-Ra-Ka. Ra is God, Ka is spirit, Af is from. When we say we are African, an original Kemetic word, we are saying we are from the Spirit of God. African means I am from the Spirit of God. The greatness of Garvey, the greatness of the most honorable Marcus Garvey is Garvey organized us not with self-hate, not with fake religion, not with false scruples, but he organized us with African consciousness. Garvey organized us with African consciousness.
Evaluated for ADHD or conduct disorder or ODD unless you plan on putting them on crack. Because the only solution America has for disruptive behavior disorders is medication. Let me say it again, because some of y'all hard of hearing. The only solution America has for ADHD is medication. Let me say it one more time, because some of y'all brainwash our white folks. The only solution America has for ADHD is Ritalin, Alamone, Concerta, Cyclin, Medicaid. And guess what happens if you stop giving them the medication? See, Raheem gonna start growing titties. Or he gonna start peeing on himself. Or he gonna start having night terrors. Or he gonna start having a tic disorder. Or he gonna develop schizophrenia or psychotic disorder. Or his blood is gonna start changing up on him. His heart is gonna become irregular. His liver is gonna start malfunctioning. And you're gonna start seeing all these side effects that Dr. Umar told you about on March 18th, but you didn't listen. And then you're gonna say, I'm not giving him no more of that. And the school gonna say, we're going to see about that. And guess what's going to happen? Your son go to We Hate Black Boys Public School. We Hate Black Boys Public School going to pick up the phone. And they're going to say, yeah, we got a mother here. Raekwon's mother, Shaquisha. And Shaquisha stopped giving Raekwon his Ritalin. And they're going to send Child Protective Services out to your house. And they're going to knock on the door. And they're going to say, excuse me, are you Shaquisa Raekwon's mom? Yes, I am. Is it true he was diagnosed with ADHD and you stopped giving him? Yeah, my son started developing breasts. He couldn't sleep. He started losing too much weight, gaining too much weight. His heart started palpitating. He was having dizzy spells, sleeping too long, can't sleep at all. I stopped giving my son that medication, and then they're going to threaten you. You're going to put him back on the medication. And if you don't, we're going to take your children. And when they come to Lansing to take the children, they're not just going to take Raekwon, are they? Nope. They're going to take little Lifeline, little Tay-Tay. They're going to take all your damn kids from you. And guess what they're going to do with all your kids? Give them to the LGBT whites in the suburbs. You don't believe me? Go look at the statistics. LGBT whites are more likely to end up being foster parent to black child than anybody else in America. What is this special relationship between black kids and LGBT whites? There is no relationship. You know what's going on? LGBT whites can't reproduce, but they need money to pay their bills. So what's the best way to get some money to pay my bills? Being a foster parent to some black kids who know black people want to be bothered with. And guess what? The more disabilities the black child got, the more money you gonna get. What did Biggie say? More money, more problems. It's the other way. More problems the child got, more money white people get. Y'all see these white people in Lansing with 2 or 3 little black kids with no job. You're like, what are they doing? Because they got a nice house, nice car, 3. You know what? Each one of them black kids got 3 diagnoses. He's schizophrenic, he's psychotic, he's suicidal, he on Depakote, he on Risperdal, he on Adderall. So they get about $2,000 per kid. That's $6,000 a month. They can drive a Benz, live in the suburbs, go on annual vacation, no job at all, but yet they call it youth freeloaders. Wow. And then when you try to become a foster parent to your own niece or nephew, they make you jump through 50 hoops. And then they say, wait, your grandson can't come live with you. Why can't my grandson come live with you? Because your husband, who's 70 years old, got locked up when he was 18 for a nickel bag of marijuana. And because he got locked up for a nickel bag of marijuana back during slavery, your grandson can't come live with you, but he can go live with the LGBT whites. I just saw an article last week, 2 LGBT whites, a husband couple, 2 men, they were sexually abusing the kid and then selling him out so other LGBT whites can sexually molest the kid. I'm not saying that every LGBT white, okay, is a damn predator of kids. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, white people have never taken an interest in black children. White people have never taken an interest in black children. So why do we have all these white people wanting to foster parent black kids? It's about money. It's only about money. And you know why all these white celebrities? Why these white celebrities love adopting black kids from other countries? Why? Anderson Cooper went to Haiti and got a baby. Madonna, did she go to Africa and get a baby? I think Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie went to somewhere. Why these white, if you really want a black child, why don't you get one in Lansing? Why don't you get one in Kalamazoo? Why don't you get one from Detroit? Why don't you get one from Muskegon? All these black kids in the foster care system in Michigan, but you want to go to Haiti, you want to go to Ethiopia. You know why? Because if I go to Haiti and get a black child, if I go to Ethiopia and get a black child, those black kids don't even speak English, don't know their rights. They don't know 911. They don't know nothing about molestation laws and pedophilia laws. So if I bring a child from Haiti to Beverly Hills, California, they living around more money they've ever seen in their life. What's the likelihood these black kids going to tell on me with the type of lifestyle I'm giving them? I can make them a sex slave. I can make them a house slave. I can turn the little boy into a little girl or the little girl into a little boy. And they'll never say nothing about it. Because if they tell on me, they got to go back to Haiti. If they tell on me, they got to go back to Ethiopia. That's why rich whites like the African kids from another place, because they know those African kids will value their access to wealth so much that they will tolerate the sexual exploitation. I need y'all to understand something. Some of you will never understand it because you're too brainwashed by your religion. Some of you will understand it maybe 20 years from now. Only a few of you will get it right now. 3 rules of racism. You better learn them. What's the first rule of racism? All white people are racist. Every one. Your white girlfriend, your white boyfriend, your white cousin, your white foster mom, your white co-worker, your white best friend, all white people are racist. Ain't a white person in Michigan who's not a racist. Ain't a white person in America who's not a racist. Not a white person in the world who's not a racist. Dr. Umar, how can you say that? Your problem is you're confusing racism with bigotry. Not all white people are bigots. Not all white people want to kill all black people. Not all white people think we are inferior, but all white people are racist. How? Because racism has nothing to do with hating you. Racism has nothing to do with thinking you're less than. Racism is about 3 things. What is racism about? Complete control by white people of all the privileges in Michigan, all the resources in Michigan, and all the opportunities in Michigan. Did you just hear what the hell I just said? I'm going to say it again. Racism is about complete control of the wealth of Michigan, the privileges of Michigan, and the opportunities of Michigan. If you disagree with me, name me one white person you ever met in your life who wants to share equally with black people in privileges, opportunities, and resources. None. This is why a lot of you think you got white friends until you find out they don't look out for your best interests. They can't look out for your best interests because if I am white, I am obligated to make sure white people stay in charge. I can't do that looking out for my best friend. And the reason black people don't understand racism is because we don't have no collective groups of abuse. All white groups of abuse. Number 2, white people don't share power with black people. White people do not share power with black people. When you hear things like, we want to build a new LANSING where everybody can live together, that's a damn lie. Because white people don't share power. The minute you see them move into a black community, they're there to move you out. Do you have charter schools in Lansing? Are there any charter schools in Lansing? Yeah. Are you sure? How many? How many? Just one. This is a charter? Yeah. Okay. Listen up. We only got one charter school that's kind of good. Philadelphia, we have more charter schools than any city in the country. The purpose of the charter school is to gentrify the black community. You ain't got a solution for mass incarceration. I'm not voting for you. You ain't got a solution for gentrification. I'm not voting for you. You ain't got a solution for police brutality. I'm not voting for you if you ain't got a solution for economic apartheid. Now everybody talking about reparations right now, right? Everybody wants some reparations. I want some reparations too. But I totally disagree with the reparations conversation. I got 5 things to say about reparations. Why are we ignoring the psychological cost of our enslavement? Do we not understand the white man owes us more for the psychological casualties of slavery than he can ever owe for 243 years of unpaid labor on a cotton plantation? That unpaid labor is nothing compared to the psychological damage. Why do Negroes running around with snow buns? Psychological damage. Why are black women running around with blonde hair on their damn head? Looking like a glow-in-the-dark pencil dot. Post-traumatic slavery disorder. See?
Oh, damn.
I love you anyway, baby. I love you anyway. I love you anyway! One of the terms for the continuation of this relationship is you have to go natural. And you're going to go to Walmart and get you some $20 clippers. You're going to bald her ass. Bald. All the way down. Bald her. You're going to get you some hot shea butter, some cocoa butter, some almond butter. I'll give it down to this Crisco butter. And every night you're going to massage your wife's bald head. You're going to kiss her scalp. And you're going to say, grow black. I need you to grow back because she got a big ass forehead. Grow back. And if you massage your wife's scalp, I'm telling you, I'm a barber, I cut hair. I'm telling you, if you talk to her head and talk to the bald spots from all the weed, and if you talk to that little ringworm growing in the back, I promise you, by the time summer comes, I lie to you now, by the time summer comes in June, she will have a nice baby fro. The problem with black women is y'all just don't want to cut it off and start over. Y'all keep on nursing that ball spot in that ring. Sister, take that shit off. All of it. Burn it. I'm telling you. First of all, y'all wear too much hair anyway. Black women have beautiful features. I don't know why y'all keep covering your face up with all this. Do y'all remember what's the sister Sanaa Lathan when she played the movie when she had to cut her hair off? Y'all remember? You saw how beautiful she was? Yeah. Black women have such natural beauty. I wish y'all would stop with this white girl, long hair, shit, you know. It's true. Natural beauty is the best beauty, but black women have to get in there. Brother, you have, because I'm telling you right now, if a black woman got to choose between the husband and the hairstyle, she choosing the husband. Because that hairstyle can't make love to her. The hairstyle can't hold her and love her. The hairstyle can't talk back to her, but the black man can. So brothers, we control when our women decide to go natural. The most honorable Marcus Garvey said it best. When he said, black man, black woman, don't take the kinks out your hair, take the kinks out your mind. I want to close with a story. And then we'll take a few questions before I start taking pictures and signing books. I do got a few copies of my books around here somewhere. No problem. I got a book out called Black Parent Advocate. It's 500 pages. It's a $50 book, but it has all the answers you need to save your child. If the school want to put him in special ed and you don't want him tested, I got a letter in there. All you got to do is reproduce it, give it to the school. If you think your child is mentally gifted and the school don't want to evaluate your child for mental giftedness, I got the letter in there. All you got to do is reproduce it and give it to the school. Your child been in special ed for 5 years and still can't read? You know what that means? You can make Lansing public schools pay for your child to go to a private school if you can prove that your special ed kid has not been learning. I got the letter in the book. All you got to do is reproduce it and take it into the schools. If your child got so-called ADHD, don't give them an IEP, give them a 504 plan. You parents need to understand what the 504 plan is. It is a civil rights law that requires children to get accommodations in school if they have a disabling condition. Stop putting them on an IEP and give them a 504 plan. If you're raising black kids, you need a copy of my book.
I want.
You can use credit card, you can use cash. I even take food stamps if that's all you got. You can use PayPal, Zelle, Apple Pay, over there. And also, brother, that book, that bag in the car got a few extra books in there. Okay. And some Geraniac cookies for my diehard sisters who love the Princess and African. And let me give y'all my story. There was a black man by the name of Booker T. Washington. He was born a slave in West Virginia. His mother was raped by the slave master. Booker T. Washington walked on foot from West Virginia to Hampton Institute, an HBCU founded by a white man in Virginia. When he showed up at Hampton, Booker T couldn't afford to pay for his education, so he asked for an opportunity to work his way through Hampton, which they gave him. When he graduated from Hampton, the white principal got a phone call. Black community from Tuskegee, Alabama. They said, do you have any black graduates who can come down here and teach black people how to make an honest dollar through agriculture? Booker T said, I'll go. Booker T. Washington arrived in Tuskegee, Alabama. He didn't have no school building, so he used an old barn, an old church, a half-finished storefront. When the first students of Tuskegee showed up, and they said, Booker T, where's my dormitory? Where's the bathroom? Where's the lecture hall? Booker T. Washington said, you standing on it. And he made the first students of Tuskegee roll up their sleeves. They dug up the ground. They made their own bricks. They built their own buildings. They cooked their own food. They made their own clothing. They became so famous for making bricks that the white construction companies will come to Tuskegee Institute and buy bricks from Booker T. Washington's students instead of the white professional brick making companies. So Booker T said, I need a science teacher. He heard of a black man named Dr. George Washington Carver, the first African in American history with a PhD in agricultural science. At the time, Dr. George Washington Carver was considered the #1 scientist in America. Not the #1 black scientist, the #1 scientist, period. He's been recruited by Ford, the Army, the leading engineering companies, and Dr. George Washington Carver, also born in slavery, turned down all that money and went to Tuskegee. And when he got to Tuskegee, he said, Booker T, where's my science lab? Where's my apartment? Where's my lecture hall? Where's my botany clinic? And these two enslaved Africans looked at each other. And Booker T told George Washington Carver, all I have is what you see. And so Dr. George Washington Carver, castrated as a child, because white people thought he might want to molest their daughter till they removed his reproductive organs. That's why Dr. George Washington Carver didn't have no children. And so he went to the trash dump of Tuskegee, Alabama. He took out plastic, he took out aluminum, he took out wood, copper, tin, and from the garbage, that black man gave us more than 300 products from the sweet potato. From the garbage, that black man gave us more than 200 products from the soybean. From the garbage, that black man gave us hundreds of products from the peanut. Can I ask you a question? How is it we came from ancestors who had nothing and did everything? You have everything and ain't got nothing. Black power. I want to close. I'll quote my 4 times great-grand cousin, Frederick Douglass. Booker T. Washington actually wrote one of the first biographies on the life of Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was Booker T. Washington's hero. My family came to America in 1701. A black man named Bailey, stolen from Nigeria. He was born to Talbot County, Maryland. He married a black woman named Selah, for whom my daughter is named. In 1745, they had Grandma Jenny. In 1774, they had Grandma Betsy. Grandma Betsy was born into slavery, but she married a free black man, my grandpa Isaac. Together in Maryland's Eastern Shore, they had 12 children. One daughter was named Harriet, another daughter was named Young Betsy, my 5 times great-grandmother. These 2 sisters were raped by the white man who owned my family. As a result of that rape, in February of 1818, Aunt Harriet gave birth to the greatest black leader in American history. His name, Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey. At the age of 20, Cousin Fred ran away in 1838 through Wilmington, Delaware, where FDMG is located, up to Philadelphia, and still up further to New York. He married his queen, Anna Murray Douglas. They would be married only 50 years before she died. She's the woman who helped him plan his escape. She's the one who sold the seller outfit. She's the one who gave him the fake freedom papers. So he changed his name to hide his identity on the fugitive slave trail. So Frederick Bailey became Frederick Douglass. Well, in 1819, my young grandmother Betsy was raped by the same man, giving birth to Frederick's half-brother, first cousin, my 4 times great-grandfather, Stephen Henry Bailey, who he names by name in Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. Grandpa Stephen married Grandma Caroline. On November the 14th, 1841, 10 years after the Nat Turner War, they gave birth to my 3 times great-grandfather, George Washington Bailey, the first black public school teacher in Denton, Maryland. The Civil War starts. My grandfather Stephen and my grandfather George, father and son, they fight in the United States Colored Troops of Maryland, 9th Regiment for one, 19th Regiment for the other. Do you know what that means? That means my grandfather George was present when General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia. My grandfather was there. That means when General Gordon Granger showed up in Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865, and read Special Order Number 3, emancipating all Africans in Texas previously held in bondage, my grandfather was there. So don't tell me Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Abraham Lincoln didn't free no damn slaves. The slaves freed Abraham Lincoln. Frederick Douglass, his sons Lewis and Charles, they fought in the Massachusetts 54th Colored Regiment. Guess who else fought in the Massachusetts 54th Colored Regiment? Martin Delaney, grandfather of Pan-Africanism. His son was in the 54th. Guess who else fought in the 54th? Sojourner Truth, grandson, was in the Massachusetts 54th Colored Regiment. If you ever seen the movie Glory, Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman, that's the story of the Massachusetts 54th. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the grandson of Sojourner Truth and the son of Martin Delaney. We fought for our freedom. White man didn't give us a damn thing. So when the war's over, Grandpa George marries Grandma Annie. They have Grandma Caroline. She moves to Philadelphia. She marries a Spanish-speaking Cuban immigrant, my great-grandfather Cicero. They have my grandmama Ida, who died 5 years ago. She met James Johnson. They have Jamal Johnson. He met Barbara. And in the ghettos of North Philadelphia on August the 21st, the anniversary of the Haitian Revolution. In the ghettos of North Philadelphia, August the 21st, the anniversary of the Nat Turner War. In the ghettos of North Philadelphia, August the 21st, the anniversary of the George Jackson War. In the ghettos of North Philadelphia, August the 21st, the day Emmett Till showed up in Money, Mississippi. In the ghettos of North Philadelphia, on August the 21st, the original birthday of Jesus Christ, I was born. Frederick Douglass said, if there's no struggle, there's no progress. Those who profess the faith of freedom but deprecate agitation are like men who want crops without plowing up the ground. You want the rain but can't stand the thunder or the lightning. You want the ocean but you're scared of the awful roar of the waves. Frederick Douglass said, a man may not get all you pay for, but you will pay for all that you get. And if we as a people are ever to become free of the injustices inflicted upon us, we will pay for their removal. We may pay with blood, we may pay with blows, we may pay with our life, but he who wants to be free must strike the first blow. Frederick Douglass said, for 20 years I prayed on my knees to God for freedom. For 20 years, I prayed on my knees to God for freedom, but the good Lord gave Frederick Douglass no freedom until I got up off my knees and started praying with my feet. He said, you want respect from the white man? Why do you look for pity? The man who pities you will never respect you, and the man who respects you has no need for pity. The most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, the only black man to lead a mass movement and didn't have to create a religion or exploit a religion to do it. Marcus Garvey said, without confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you have won even before you have started. Marcus Garvey said the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization. Marcus Garvey was once asked, are you an African or are you a Jamaican? Are you an African or are you a Jamaican? And Garvey looked up and said, you asked me, am I African or am I Jamaican? And I tell you, I would never, ever give up a continent for an island. I am African. Yesterday, today, and forever. Lansing, Michigan, I love you.
Came with change, I'm amazed, take the high road. Made the play bet on my game, I'm a splash code. Can't complain, I make it rain, heavy cash load. See my veins, I get the gains, you a slimy troll.